it's him. And now that I've started going to the cinema again, I thought I would talk a little bit about movies I've seen more recently. I know a lot of my viewing is either TV shows or things that we've streamed. And one of the things I'll talk about is something we streamed, but we'll talk about a couple of things that are actually still in cinemas. For once, I'm topical. Okay, so we went and saw F1, which I think I mentioned in a video a while back that we were planning to go. I wasn't super excited for it because I'm not a race car girly. We saw it on IMAX. So I really liked this movie more than I expected to. Okay, and maybe it was the IMAX and just the full kind of rush of seeing everything going on and feeling it and being in it. Is the plot something special? No, not really, but I still walked out really enjoying this movie. Like, the vibe, you know, it was made by the guy who did Top Gun Maverick, and I really liked that movie, and it's not like I fly planes either, right? Like, so I don't have to love the subject matter to really enjoy the film, I guess, because the film is in and of itself just a lot of fun to be in. It was kind of long, but pacing wise, I didn't feel like it was bad. I feel like it moves through the story at a good pace. It's just a long story. Brad Pitt plays kind of a washed up old, I guess he was in Indy, but he'd also done F1. I don't know. I don't know enough about car stuff. I know that I'm not really into Indy. F1 is more interesting to me. If I had to pick one, I'd watch F1, right? But I worked for a guy who really was into NASCAR, and I'm not, that's not my thing. But he gets called in by an old friend whose team is failing, and, you know, just to see if he can, like, help them because they've got this new young scallywag driver who's, you know, doing all the new technology stuff. It's kind of the old dog teaching a young dog old tricks kind of story, I guess. I don't know. I liked it. I had a really good time. And maybe that's because my expectations were like pretty low, right? Like I went in thinking, you know, I'm just going to do this because it's family night out or whatever. Went beyond my expectations, but my expectations were not high, so take that as you will. For the 4th of July, Independence Day, we chose to marathon some Captain America. And we started with Brave New World because we hadn't seen it, and it was streaming. And yeah, that's a movie that happened. Thunderbolts was way better, way more entertaining. And I guess the whole Sam proving himself to be Captain America is just kind of tired because we already kind of went through that with the TV series. And we're like, why? I mean, I get it. He's still kind of got this imposter syndrome thing going on, I guess. It wasn't, I mean, a lot of people said, oh, the plot was convoluted or whatever. I didn't think that was true at all. In fact, it was kind of dull. The villain is kind of, I don't know, not very interesting. And I didn't see the Eternals, but at least my family was able to explain the thing they're fighting over in the Sea of Japan or whatever. And okay, I mean, I guess what it felt like to me was a transitional movie where if you watch TV, then you know there are episodes sometimes that are just all about getting people to the places they need to be for the next thing. Kind of like, you know, there are Game of Thrones episodes where not a whole lot's going on. It's just people need to be in different places, so we need to move people around. This felt like we needed to set up Sam trying to assemble a new Avengers, being given that mandate, so that when Thunderbolts comes in and is like, we're the new Avengers, it, you know, it sets up what will be another, not civil war really, but another kind of tug of war over, like, who's the real thing. I don't know. I assume that's where we're going with this. We have tickets to Fantastic Four, so I can come back and talk about that after we've seen it. If you've seen my other viewing video, you know I really enjoyed Thunderbolts. And for somebody who's kind of sick of the MCU, that was really surprising, actually, how much I enjoyed that too. So maybe I just need to go to see movies that I actually think I'm not going to like, because then I'll be pleasantly surprised. Because, okay, Superman. Let's talk Superman. I am a Superman girly. Okay, I grew up watching the Christopher Reeve movies. I loved those movies as a kid. You know, I showed my kids the first one and they were like, this is so stupid. And I'm like, yeah, it was great when I was a kid, okay? But, okay. And then, like, I don't like Snyder's gritty Superman thing. The Brandon Routh movie was fine. I mean, I remember seeing it in the cinema, but, like, I don't remember really anything about it. I remember thinking, And, I mean, I guess that's kind of what the whole world did. They all just went, and nothing happened with that franchise for a long time after that. A long time. I guess it's relative in cinema. And then we got this whole DCEU Snyderverse thing, and I don't know. I felt like it was kind of this Christopher Nolan light version of the characters. Like, somebody was like, I want to do what Christopher Nolan did with Batman, but with everybody, and make it all desaturated and blah. And I don't know. It's not my thing. Not my thing. I'm sure it's great for some people, but it's not for me. So I was hoping for a real return to form with this Superman. And I didn't hate the movie. Like, I liked it, but I was not blown away. You know, it was fine. I think David Cornsweet did a really good job. I felt like the story was a little... I appreciate coming in media res. We don't need another origin story for Superman. We all kind of know more or less where he came from, how he grew up, like all of that. So I'm glad that we didn't start there. But I felt like maybe a little more establishing of his relationship with Lois instead of just like, oh, they've been dating for 3 months. And I don't know. There was some stuff that just, and a lot of people are like, oh, the hokiness of the Justice Gang, or what were they calling it? I can't remember what he was calling it, but that was dumb. And I don't have enough working knowledge of Green Lantern and Mr. Terrific and Hawkgirl to really weigh in on them as characters. I thought Mr. Terrific was terrific. I really liked him. You see Nathan Fillion and you kind of know exactly what you're getting there. And like, I was like, the hair, and my husband's like, no, that's true to the comic. And I'm like, oh my God, why? And then people were upset about the scene where Clark and Lois are in like Clark's apartment. First of all, though, what high rise has windows that open that high up? Like, that's a safety issue. And I get it. Like, Superman needs to be able to get in and out without using his elevator, I guess. But what? That has to be against code. Anyway, they're in his apartment. And, like, in the background, there's the interdimensional imp or whatever that, you know, Superman kind of waves off, right? He's like, oh, they got it. And you can see, like, the green flashes from Green Lantern dealing with it and stuff. People are like, oh, that was so hokey or whatever. I didn't see it that way. I saw it more as, like, an establishing of this world where these kinds of things are the norm. Like, superheroes are normal, they're around, and these threats are relatively common, and people just have kind of had to learn to live with these things happening. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I just read that a little differently. I didn't find, like, the humor off-putting. And in fact, you know, it wasn't Guardians of the Galaxy, but that's almost a different genre, right? They're both, like, fantasy with sci-fi elements or whatever, but, like, Guardians of the Galaxy is a different tonal thing than Superman. And yes, I thought that the scenes with him back home with his parents were probably some of the best scenes. I didn't find there to be any chemistry between him and Lois at all. I wanted more of Clark as, you know, Clark Kent. And, you know, the Jimmy Olsen thing was kind of its own side quest story thing. It didn't really, I mean, I know it connected narratively, but it didn't connect, like, on a personal level. My favorite scene was a very James Gunn scene, and that is Lois in the bubble while Mr. Terrific's like, doing his thing. And the soundtrack's going. Like, I was like, all right, yeah, this is quintessential James Gunn superhero kind of thing, and I really enjoyed that scene. I thought Nicholas Hoult was very convincing as somebody I hated. Which I was like, wow, I cannot stand this person. He is nailing the fact that we would all like to see him get just pounded. I thought the dog was cute. Okay. People are like, oh, the dog. And I don't know. I thought it worked. What I like is seeing Superman as this guy who is just trying to do his thing, live his life. He's 30. He's still figuring things out. He's trying to hold down a job, date a girl, take care of a dog that isn't even his, and, save the world. And there's this question of, is he an American or is he a citizen of the world? Does he answer to the American government because he's an American citizen, or is he above and beyond that because of his abilities, or, how does that work? I think those are relevant questions for the character. And yeah, I don't know. I liked it. I don't know. I was hoping to be really blown away by it. And again, it's just that thing where my expectations for this were maybe higher than they should have been. And so I felt a little let down. I mean, I didn't hate it. I'd see it again. I might see it again just because the people behind us were talking. Not all the time, but enough that it was distracting at moments. Also, we could hear Jurassic World in the next theater, like during the quiet moments in Superman, which there are a few. We could hear Jurassic World, just the sound was way turned up over there. So yeah, I might try and see it again. But yeah, I don't know. I could see where this was Superman, and then he's trying to already start put the building blocks in place for a wider, DC universe. Yeah, and so, okay, we'll see where it goes. But yeah, those are my takes on those movies. And like I said, we're going to see Fantastic Four, not this weekend, but next weekend. So we can talk about that too. But yeah, and I'm almost done with the book I'm reading, finally. Oh my God, the library must hate me. I need to send my books back, but I need to read them and get them back to the library. But I'm only got like 70 pages left, so I should have a book video again soon. And until next time, take care.